Finally, the Tinubu's government have designated Simon Ekpa and 16 others as terrorist financiers. This is a fact coming from them yesterday's Vanguard. It's on the Vanguard page, front page, Friday Vanguard. You can go and check that out. Simon Ekpa has been designated as a financier of terrorism in Nigeria. If you are watching, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, on notifications, drop your comments, click the like button, and share with others. I have with me Evangelist Benjamin Ezesinachi, who will do justice to the issue this morning. How does it come to that Tinubu's government have finally designated Simon Ekpa a terrorist financier this morning? How does that kind of come to you, Evangelist Ben, this morning?
Good morning, good afternoon. Good evening, good night, wherever you're watching us from. I remember my humble self, that Biafran evangelist that always speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Now listen and listen good. I am not surprised. Are you shocked? No, I am not, and I can never be shocked. Because Nigerian have been a darkness country that always see light as danger or trouble to them. It's not today they have been calling the IPOB terrorists. After all, Nigerian court, the panel of sitting of 3 lawyers inside one room in the north have tagged IPOB what terrorists. So I'm not surprised. They have been saying it that Simon Ekpa is the brain behind what is happening in Nigeria, disturbing Southeast, disturbing Nigeria, doing this, doing that. They have been calling us terrorists. That is what they have been calling us. And now listen, we are terrorists stated by Nigerian government. IPOB is terrorist. Simon Ekpa is the one financing terrorists only in Nigeria, but not financing the terrorists in the world. You understand? Then the mighty Allah, the one that have financed both in gun and in arms in everything, is not a terrorist. And the Fulani herdsmen who even last month that have killed people in the axis of the east, not in the northern part, they are not terrorists. They have traveled to, as I talked to you some days ago, in Benue, in Enugu, they kill and more than 10 people's life. They are not terrorists. Then this man, what is he called? The other man, the one negotiating between the is not a terrorist, but he's a negotiator between federal government and the terrorists. But he's not a terrorist, but somebody that stands to fight for his rights is not a terrorist. I am not surprised because he's coming from the ISIS or the country full of lies. I am not shocked because in Nigeria, those that win election never rule. Are you hearing me? Those that win election never rule. As you can see, in 2019, who won election in Imo State? But is he the one ruling in Imo State? No. In Lagos State, during the time of second tenure of Fashola, did the Fashola win election? No. But did he rule? Yes. During the time of Tinubu's second tenure, Funsho Williams defeated Tinubu, and that was the era ahead and aligned to Tiwa. Did Funsho Williams rule? No. So Nigeria is a country whereby people that win election, they doesn't rule. In 2023, people be one election. Is he ruling? No. That is the system of Nigeria. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to point out here is this: Nigeria has been full of lies. The Vanguard you are talking about today is a Nigerian newspaper. The Point you are talking about is Nigerian newspaper. The Nation you are talking about today is Nigerian newspaper. And where are they being published? In Nigeria. Who is the leaders of Nigeria? Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Pastor, what can you say about them, the Igbo kings who went to bow down or who went to visit the South Sokoto from Enugu State? As they were even bowing down and meeting the man, Fulani herdsmen were buying them in Enugu. What can you say about that, the Igbo kings?
Now, don't say Igbo king, because when you mention Igbo kings, it's like all the Igbos, because there are some kings in Igbo that have respect for themselves. You cannot see somebody like Pets Pete Edochie doing such a thing? Or did you see him among them? No, there when you say Igbo kings, select them. Those Igbo Fulani kings. Yes, Igbo Fulani kings. Those ones that are choosing to be enslaved by the people that are supposed to be slave to them. You know, it is a crime, it's a sin for a king to walk barefooted. You know that. So for you that is a king, whereby you do not know that you are a king, and the person that's supposed to be a servant or a slave to you have become a king over you, that means it's a taboo. So them bowing down to the Fulanis, it means that they don't know whom they are. And that is why I call them Igbo King Fulefu.
What does that mean?
Igbo king that have lost, they lost Igbo king because they themselves do not know their origin, because if they do, they will not do such a thing, abominable thing of that. Because as I am, nothing will make me to bow down to what Fulani. On what cost?
Cannot bow down to Fulani.
How can I bow down to Fulani? I'm a king. Hello? I am a king. There is what we call Amado in Igbo land. The meaning of Amado, not only Amado, not Amado. So Amado doesn't bow to slaves. So a real king doesn't bow to slaves. And that is why a typical and original Igbo man, if you want to get married to any woman or any man, do you know what happens? Do you know what happens? The kindred of that young brother or that young sister, there is what we call inquiry to know if this person is you want to get married to, whether it's on the slave axis. So those ones that call themselves kings, and a Nigerian made king, not Igbo made king. Nigerian made king, they are the ones that bow to their master, not Igbo king. So remove that word Igbo king. Put it Nigerian made king. Fulani made king has bowed to their master.
Somebody said, I don't know whether I agree with him. He's an awesome man. He said the Igbos and the Fulanis will never agree because the Igbos are like the Jews, the Fulanis are like the Arabs. Do you agree with that statement?
Straight ahead, the man saw it all and he said it all. Have you ever seen that happen before? We are the Jews, not like. If you use the word like, it's an understatement. That is what we are. That is whom we are. We are the Jewish. And we can never bow. So any Igbo man who bows to Fulani doesn't know his origin. They know they agree. He doesn't know. That means he has betrayed his father's lineage. His motherland has been sold. That is what it means. And there is something I'm going to use this opportunity to tell every of our viewers. If you are a Jewish, that is Igbo man. If you are a Biafra, remember there is one particular thing that is common. Any seed you are sowing today does not mean that that seed will germinate today. That seed may germinate tomorrow. There is something that is happening currently now from my in-laws them place. You understand? And this thing, who brought it? The person that brought it is no more. But this is now the thing that they brought, that juju, that spirit now is taking people's life now. But when it was brought, it was calm, nothing happened. Many years, but now the thing is taking. We imagine something of within space of 3 months now. There are about 3 persons have died, or 4. So within 6 months, they are burning up to 6 to 7 persons. You understand? So that is why we should be very, very careful. You that is going to Fulani, you are selling it because time will come when your generation will become a slave. A slave. And when it becomes a slave, they will begin to ask some questions. How come? Who did I offend? Yoruba go say, Tanimo share. Your fathers, this one Nigerian medical now are selling their pride. They are selling their bad pride because it will speak against their generation tomorrow.
Not all from that particular axis of Nigeria. If you are watching, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, on notifications, drop your comments, click the like button, like, and share with others. Fubara cannot be impeached. Mr. Chinedu this morning, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. I've always aligned myself with that because I'm optimistic and I'm not a pessimistic person. I look at things from the perspective of rationality before I come up with any conclusion. My rationality is not even based on whatever politics that has been surrounding the crisis that is happening in Rivers State. My rationality is based on what Nigeria is and what Nigeria stood for. And from that angle, I will leverage on that and take up on any issue I want to take up until I begin to see direct changes in all ramifications when it comes to Nigeria as a sovereign nation, when it comes to Nigeria as an entity, when it comes to Nigeria, as a nation, as a country who want to build, who want to advance. Until I begin to see those guys, I will always say things from that point of view. Nigeria as a nation, given the resources that has been expended in government, in governance since 1960 till date, is enough to build the entire Africa. But unfortunately, 250 million people have not been able to fix any part of the country, any part of the country that can move this country forward. No sector in Nigeria is working. But I can tell you that what you are seeing happening to Fubara is the introduction of Jagabanism, is the introduction of the Basobe, is the introduction of Oga on top, is the introduction of a very bad politics. It's also the introduction of feudalistic tendencies in a region that has nothing to do with feudalism. I pity Wike, I pity Tinubu for the campaign that is ongoing to introduce strange things in the South and Southeast. They succeeded in breaking the Eastern Nigeria into two. There's no problem. So we shouldn't have stability. Again, we shouldn't be rational. We shouldn't be part of civility. We shouldn't understand that this thing needed to be done in a proper way to give everybody a sense of belonging. Rivers State is very sensitive politically in terms of votes, in terms of voting strength. It's just like Kano, it's just like Lagos, where their votes can easily make any difference. But let me tell you, what the government of Tinubu want to achieve in Rivers State is dead on arrival. These things were thoroughly marketed by Wike, and that was why we are seeing so many damages. Most of the damages, one of the things that is happening in PDP was Wike's plan that got PDP gradually being destabilized.
But can Godfatherism, can it ever work in South or Igbo?
That is why we are seeing the resistance, because nobody wants that kind of arrangement where you have Godfatherism, Baba Sobe, which I also explained here. Nobody wants that at all. Nobody wants to see that achieved. Nobody wants to see that registered, because it is the worst form of politics ever that any rational person, any reasonable person must come out to condemn. What do you mean by Godfatherism? Somebody is somewhere and want you to do like this. Even at that, it is not we're not interested in that type of government. If the Yorubas and the Southwest are playing that kind of politics, it should be resisted because by them too. Because I don't think it is something anybody can be proud of that we are playing politics of Godfatherism. It is not our culture. It is not the Igbo man's tradition. That's why they said Igbos doesn't have king because we don't play that kind of politics. In Igbo land, we believe that everybody is a king. Even is a king. Yes, that's what we believe. Even the child that is born today, he cannot just be because you are the senior, you intimidate him. No, people will shout at you. Don't do that. That is why the Igbo does not bow to anybody. When Queen Elizabeth came to Nigeria, it is only Igbo that did not bow to Queen Elizabeth because we don't bow to human beings. Because you believe the person you are bowing is like a king too. That's not even bowing. So why would you play politics of Godfatherism in Rivers State? And that is why you are seeing resistance. And you can see the Niger Delta militant movement has also emerged. Everybody is heading back to the Greeks, and any moment from now, they are just trying to watch out the body language of the federal government, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Wike, and look at the politics of Rivers State has been played. That will determine whether they are going to carry out attack on oil installation and facilities across the entire Biafra land. Though it's not for them to know at this point in time that everything about that Supreme Court judgment is now on the open, and the house of Wike is also gradually dividing because the injured lawmakers in that house have decided are planning to be on the side of Fubara. Any moment from now, you might see another story from the Wike camp that Wike camp has been fractured. Wike is going to enter into a serious deep political trajectory that will destroy anything that has to do with his political ambition in Nigeria. We know what happened. We know how he demonized, he spoiled everything that has to do with PDP structure and zoning arrangement, and brought all manner of activities, corrupt activities into the system. Thank God for Tambua, the former governor of Sokoto, who was able to rubbish him and throw him to the gutters. We are still watching. We know what happened in Rivers State. We know how he sold Peter Ob's mandate to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that's why Bola Ahmed Tinubu is always carrying him in the kitchen, in the market, everywhere he goes. We have only 3 people that are ruling in this country now: Ababio, Wike, and of course Tinubu. You see, these 3 people, they are the problem of this bad government, the bad economy, bad awkwardness. And it's a disgrace that we are having a Southern senator, we are having the Southern president, and Nigeria is experiencing the worst government in the history of this country. It's a shame to the Southern Nigeria. It's a shame, and that is why the North are saying what they are saying at this point in time. Like the Hausa, the Northerners are having a better government than the Southerners. They are having a better administration than the Southerners. They had a better presidency than what we are experiencing now. Well, it was the plan of the Northerners to give us somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I beg, make them not give us again. As simple as that. We don't need it. As simple as that. We cannot continue to engage ourselves into all manner of human uncivilized way of doing things always, and we are expecting to have a good result. The people you are seeing there up there are enjoying. They are not hungry, they are not begging for anything, they can come up with anything and decide on anything at any time, at any day, and that is what it is. But we continue to project that this ingenuity, this impunity will not be allowed at any point to stand. Even beyond 2027, it shall not stand.
So as we are closing, are you not afraid that the coalition now, or other people are saying Tinubu must be out? Tinubu is now trying to woo the eastern governors and the south governors. Do you think that the coalition may throw Tinubu out of power in 2027?
I think if you look at the statistics, Tinubu did not win in the south and southeast. He lost in Osun, he lost in Lagos, he lost in FCT, he lost also in Abuja. So I'm telling you that his so-called kangaroo, INEC-driven, judiciary-made president, it's not sustainable. So at every little margin target against him now, his government will collapse in 2027, and another government will definitely emerge. And if it is a signal, we want to put it very clearly that we will not